to my supervisor, Madam Azlianor, and to my evaluator, Dr. Suhaizan. Today I'll be presenting about my PSM2 project presentation, which is Giftify. I am Darwin from 3BITS S1G2. So starting off with the objective of the presentation is to provide an overview of the practical implementation phase, the testing and the conclusion of the app development. Moving on to the implementation phase. So starting from the coding and development. The code written embodies the features and functionalities of the application. This includes creating user interfaces, implementing back-end logic, and integrating various components. Next is database integration. A connection is established between the application and the database, ensuring a seamless storage and retrieval of user data, gift production information, and other details. Next is user registration and authentication. Building upon the design, user registration and authentication mechanisms are implemented, ensuring the security of user accounts and personal information. Moving on to the next implementation phase, gift selection interface. The user-friendly interface for gift selection designed earlier is now brought to life, as user can browse through categories, filter options, and view detailed product description inside the app. Next is delivery tracking. The implementation of real-time delivery tracking enhances the user experience by providing transparency and updates on gift shipments. For example, for the delivery tracking, the app shows expected delivery and the payment made and the payment details accordingly and accurately. The final implementation phase includes admin functionality and testing. The administrative capabilities are developed for efficient management of products and orders, ensuring smooth operation and database maintenance. And last but not least is the testing. Rigorous testing is conducted to ensure the application's usability, functionality, and performance. Any issues or bugs are identified and resolved accordingly. The next phase, moving on to the network security architecture. As you can see, this is the diagram which shows the default network security architecture within the mobile app connecting to the server. So in this diagram, the app communicates with the server through a PHP script file, and the data flows between the app and server is encrypted by default network security. The server employs secure authentication mechanisms for both server-side and user-side logins. This visual representation conveys the basic network security elements in place, even without the HTTPS, emphasizing default security measures and secure development practices. And moving on to the version control of the mobile application report. So starting with the directory naming, when embarking on new features or modifications, separate directories are generated, each bearing descriptive names that denote that the specific purpose or scope of the changes. Next is file backups. Previous versions of files are diligently backed up within the project directories. This precautionary step practice equips us to me to revert to prior versions as required. And the documentation phase is something that I have meticulously documented within the project directory. This record encompasses details about the nature of the modification, the date of implementation, and I think that's all. Yeah. So here it shows the directory naming of the version control. As you can see, each name is given according to the scope of the activity. For example, admin activity handles the admin functionality, card activity handles the card activities, and etc. So moving on to the testing phase, here we can see the main testing that has been a few of the main testing carried out. As you can see, essential functions are tested, such as user authentication, registration, and transaction functionalities. This ensures core features robustness, safeguards system reliability. A detailed test case is in the appendix of the report with a comprehensive reference and showing the testing efforts, and also taking into consideration of the overall equality and performance. Here are the examples of the test case: ID, test description, expected result, actual result, pass and fail. So this actually covers the security part, the usability part, and also the functionality part of the testing. So the conclusion here is that the strength. Let me start with the strength of the application first. A user-friendly interface boasts an intuitive and user-friendly interface, enhancing user experience. The core features such as gift selection and tracking are robust and working seamlessly. Regular updates and bug fixes have been implemented and ensuring the application's reliability. These are the strengths of the Giftify mobile application. Moving on, when looking on to the other side, weaknesses, there are limited platform support. As you can see, currently the application is available only on Android devices, limiting its user base. And talking about user feedback handling, there is room for improvement in the way user feedback and suggestions are managed and acted upon. Finally, performance optimization. There have been occasional performance issues, and which requires optimizations, which means that there are room for improvements, but as the app continues to work seamlessly without any errors. But there are also room for a quicker loading screen and a quicker login authorization, or a quicker payment can be made. There is a one downside here. As you can see, the security. The server side security is something that has to be discussed. This is because the passwords are not encrypted, as there are not enough security on the server side when the password is not encrypted. So and the admin can see the user's password, which will be a huge defect in the security phase. So this would require immediate attention for enhanced data security. However, when logging in, the system does not access the password directly. Instead, if it checks for the existing email and checks if the password matches accordingly. I think that's all for me. Thank you for a chance. Thank you for the chance given to present my mobile application.